Good evening, dear students. So we have been learning about preparation of different compounds from common salt, that is sodium chloride. Okay. So as a part of preparation of different compounds from common salt, today we are going to learn how to prepare baking soda from common salt, right? So baking soda means its chemical formula is sodium hydrogen carbonates. So its chemical name is sodium hydrogen carbonate and its formula is NaHCO3. So how to prepare this sodium hydrogen carbonate, which is nothing but baking soda, baking soda, right, from common salt. So the reactants are, we need sodium chloride plus water plus carbon dioxide and ammonia reacts to form ammonium chloride plus baking soda NaHCO3, right? So this is baking soda preparation. Means when sodium chloride, when common salt, carbon dioxide, ammonia and water are reacting, right, we'll get the products ammonium chloride, it's a salt, and baking soda, sodium hydrogen carbonate. Okay, so this is how baking soda will be prepared by using the reactants common salt, water, carbon dioxide and ammonia. So now what are the uses of sodium hydrogen carbonate, right? So uses of sodium hydrogen carbonate, which is generally called as baking soda. First one is that, see, baking soda, is a mild non-corrosive base, right? So baking powder mainly contains, generally baking powder contains sodium hydrogen carbonate, right, calcium hydrogen phosphate. So it contains, baking soda contains sodium hydrogen carbonate, right, and calcium hydrogen phosphate, calcium hydrogen phosphate, and starch. So the ingredients of, right, this baking soda are, right, sodium hydrogen carbonate, calcium hydrogen phosphate and starch. So main component of baking soda is sodium hydrogen carbonate. So this baking soda can be used for the purpose of baking, to baking of cake, means baking of cake or bread. So to bake the cake, right, or bread. So this baking soda will be used. So one of the uses of baking soda is, the name itself is telling baking soda, that baking soda can be used for the baking purpose of cake and bread. So how, right, what is happening when we are using baking soda to bake the cake or bread? So generally, see, when baking soda is heated, it's nothing but NaH, NaHCO3. When it is heated, heating can be shown with the delta symbol upon aromar. When baking soda is heated, it decomposes into sodium carbonate Na2CO3, plus water plus carbon dioxide. So these will the products when baking soda is heated. So we know that, so we are adding baking soda, right, for the purpose of baking. See, baking means it happens, heating takes place. So when we add baking soda to the duff, duff means it's a material, right, used to prepare cake or bread. When we add baking soda to the bubbling duff, So this is the dough, means material which is used to prepare cake or bread. Okay, when we add baking soda to the bubbling dough, right, so and is heated, so sodium hydrogen carbonate, right, so for example this is the dough, right, so it is a bubbling dough, and sodium hydrogen carbonate is added, right, and heated. Okay, when it is heated, we know that carbon dioxide gas is releasing. So through this dough, carbon dioxide will come out. So when gas is coming through a paste like material, inside pores will be created, means pores means small holes will be created, means the cake or bread, it becomes like a sponge. Okay, so whatever the cake is prepared by baking, by using baking soda, okay, that cake or bread becomes like a sponge and it becomes soft. So this is the reason why a cake or bread is soft and looks spongy, because when we add baking soda and heat, carbon dioxide gas is releasing, and when it is coming through bubbling dough, it creates many pores. It makes like it makes the cake or bread like sponge, and it makes soft. Okay na? So this is the reaction taking place when bubbling dough is heated after adding baking soda, right? So this is baking action. Now, so this is one of the uses of the baking soda. One more uses is that sodium hydrogen carbonate can be used as antacid. Okay, antacid means, so sodium hydrogen carbonate is used as antacid because, see, sodium hydrogen carbonate is a mild base. Sodium hydrogen carbonate is non-corrosive, right? It's a non-corrosive mild base. Non-corrosive means it cannot damage anything. Okay, mild base. Okay, now since it is acting as a mild base, if somebody is suffering from acidity, problem, we can use the baking soda as the antacid. Antacid means which nullifies the effect of base. Okay, nullifies the effect of base. Right? So if there is the effect of acid, that is nothing but acidity, this will be neutralized by using sodium hydrogen carbonate. Okay, so since sodium hydrogen carbonate is a mild non-corrosive base, it can be used as antacid. Okay, and one more thing, so that's what, when we feel like our stomach is swelling or we are feeling acidic inside our stomach, we'll go and drink lemon soda. After drinking lemon soda, right, soda, we are saying soda, it contains, lemon soda contains sodium hydrogen carbonate, which is nothing but baking soda. So this baking soda neutralizes the effect of acid, which is nothing but hydrochloric acid in our stomach. So we'll get relief. Okay na? So right, so this is the one more use of baking soda, right? And next thing is, see, it is also used as soda acid in fire extinguishers. It can be used as soda acid. One more use of baking soda is that soda acid can be used as soda acid in fire extinguishers. Okay, baking soda is used as, right, soda acid. Next, it will act as mild antiseptic. Right? So these are the preparation method and uses of baking soda. So next compound we are going to discuss how it is prepared. That compound is, so we are going to discuss the preparation of washing soda. So just before we have seen when sodium hydrogen carbonate. Okay, so we are going to discuss the preparation of washing soda, right? So how to prepare this? So the chemical formula of washing soda is Na2CO3. So this is the chemical formula of washing soda. So just before we have seen, while we are preparing, right, while we are baking the cake or bread, we have seen that when baking soda, sodium hydrogen carbonate, is heated, it is decomposing into sodium carbonate, right, plus water plus carbon dioxide. See, sodium carbonate, which is nothing but washing soda, is prepared. This gas will come out. It will be escaping. Remaining thing will be sodium carbonate. Okay, along with water. Right? We have two more compounds. That is left compound. Right? Leftover compound is sodium carbonate, which is nothing but washing soda. Along with water. If we recrystallize, means if we recrystallize sodium carbonate, okay, we'll get crystals of sodium carbonate. That will be the sodium carbonate formula is Na2CO3 10H2O means, so it is containing sodium carbonate is prepared along with water, right? If we crystallize means, for example, if we heat salt water, for example, you are heating salt water, okay, you are taking some salt water in a bowl, right? So this is salt water and you are heating it. For example, you are heating it, okay. So when you are heating, total water will be evaporated and leftover substance will be salt crystals. See here, sodium chloride crystals. These are sodium chloride crystals. So to observe the crystalline form of salt, you better to observe fat salt. So fat salt is in the form of crystals. If you hold the fat salt or normal salt in your hand for some time, your hand becomes wet. It means what? Salt is in the form of crystals, and these, in each crystal, sodium chloride molecules are associated with water molecules. Similarly, washing soda, okay, when washing soda is converted into crystals, each sodium carbonate molecule will be associated with 10 molecules of water. So that's why the washing soda formula is, right, the formula of washing soda is that, so Na2CO3 10H2O, okay, this is right. So this is how washing soda is prepared. So what are the uses of washing soda now? What are the uses of washing soda? So uses, first one, sodium carbonate is used in glass, soap and paper industries. Okay, uses of sodium carbonate, right? Sodium carbonate is used in glass, soap and paper industries. Next one is, because see, generally sodium carbonate and sodium hydrogen carbonate are bases. These are basic salt. Bases can be used for the preparation of soap and glass and paper, okay na, right? And next use is, it is used in the manufacturing of sodium compounds such as borax. Okay, sodium washing soda can be used to manufacture sodium compounds. One of the sodium compounds is, right, borax. So it's a compound of sodium, right? So to prepare sodium compounds like borax, so this washing soda will be used. next use, one more use of washing soda is it can be used as a cleaning agent for domestic purpose. Cleaning agent. So washing soda can be used for as cleaning agent for domestic purposes. In domestic purposes. Domestic means you can wash the clothes also by using washing soda. So such type of cleaning purposes, this washing soda can be used. Okay, and the next use is it is used for removal of permanent hardness, to remove permanent hardness of water. Permanent hardness, to remove the permanent hardness of water. Okay, right? So now, so these are the uses: glass industry, soap industry, paper industry. So washing soda is used to manufacture sodium compounds like borax. Sodium washing soda is used for the cleansing action purpose in domestic, okay, cases, right? And to remove the permanent hardness of water. See here, we are seen in the formula. We are seen in the formula. What? See, the formula of washing soda is Na2CO3 10H2O, means one sodium chloride molecule will be associated with 10 water molecules. So how can you call this 10 number of water molecules associated with washing soda? This can be called as water of crystallization. This is called as water of crystallization. This is called as water of crystallization. So how to prove that? Whatever the salt, each salt crystal contains, okay, some water of crystallization. How to prove that? To prove that there is an activity. Okay, so the formula for copper sulfate is, see, CuSO4 5H2O. So these 5 number of water molecules associated with one copper sulfate molecule is called as water of crystallization. This is called as water of crystallization. So what we have to do? So to prove that each and every salt contains water of crystallization, we need the materials. We need a test tube, right? We need copper sulfate salt. This is copper sulfate salt. Okay, we need a test tube holder. We have to hold this, right? We need a test tube holder. We need Bunsen burner. This is Bunsen burner. So what do you need? Test tube. Materials required are test tube. So our aim is to prove that each and every salt contains some water of crystallization. That is the aim. So okay, for that purpose we need test tube, copper sulfate salt. Copper sulfate is a salt. Okay, copper sulfate salt, right? Bunsen burner. Bunsen burner. Okay, test tube holder. Test tube holder. So what to do? So first, let us take copper sulfate salt. In a test tube. Hold the test tube with the test tube holder, right? You heat this test tube over Bunsen burner. So after heating for few minutes, we can observe that some water droplets will be formed on the walls of test tube. So from this activity we can understand that even though the salt which is we are taking copper sulfate, it looks dry, it contains water molecules associated with each copper sulfate molecule. right? Initially we can see it will be dry, but after heating we can see water droplets on the walls of test tube. So what is the conclusion? Each salt contains water of crystallization. That depending on the type of salt. For copper sulfate, water of crystallization is 5 water molecules. Okay. For sodium carbonate, which is nothing but washing soda, 10 number of molecules, water molecules is water of crystallization. So this is about washing soda preparation, right? Uses and water of crystallization. And next thing is one more compound we have, that is plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris. So how to prepare that? Plaster of Paris. Okay. So the formula for plaster of Paris is calcium sulfate, CaSO4 half H2O, half H2O. So how to prepare this? Generally the formula of gypsum, okay, the formula of gypsum is CaSO4 2H2O. So this is the formula of gypsum. So when gypsum is heated, that is CaSO4 2H2O is heated, right? When 1.5 water molecule is removed, the remaining compound is CaSO4 half H2O. Okay, this is called plaster of Paris. Means we have to take gypsum and we have to heat it. So when we heat it, when 1.5 water molecule has lost by gypsum, the remaining compound is CaSO4 half H2O, and this is called plaster of Paris. So at what temperature this gypsum should be heated? So this gypsum should be heated at 373 Kelvin, at a temperature 373 Kelvin. Okay na? Right? So this is how plaster of Paris will be prepared from gypsum. So generally so in the formula of calcium sulfate, which is nothing but plaster of Paris, we have written that the formula of plaster of Paris as CaSO4 half H2O. What is the meaning of half H2O? I mean, are we breaking a water molecule, okay, into half? That's not the meaning. The meaning is, here you can see one CaSO4 molecule, okay, one calcium sulfate molecule is associated with the half, means here we haven't broken the water molecule. It means that two calcium sulfates, okay na, two calcium sulfate molecules can be associated with one H2O molecule. So two calcium sulfate molecules together can share one water molecule. That's why when we take one calcium sulfate molecule, right, so we have to show it as half, means two together sharing one, means each one calcium sulfate shares half of the water molecules, but they are not breaking it, they are just sharing together. Two calcium sulfate molecules together will share one water molecules. Then when we take one calcium sulfate, we have to express it as half H2O, but it doesn't mean that we are breaking water into half. Okay na? Right? So this is about calcium sulfate, plaster of Paris preparation. And what are the uses of plaster of Paris? Okay na? What are the uses of plaster of Paris? So uses, what are they? First one is that see, plaster of Paris is used for making toys. It is used for making toys. Next one, material for decoration. So plaster of Paris can be used for decoration purpose. Okay na? And after that, for making surfaces smooth, to make surfaces smooth, how? See here, toys, we are told toys, we are told toys. So you now, the upcoming festival is Ganesh festival. So all the Ganesh idols are made with a particular material. That material is plaster of Paris. Okay, Ganesh idols, one of the examples like toys is Ganesh idols are made of plaster of Paris. That is nothing but POP, plaster of Paris. From plaster of Paris only Ganesh idols are made. Different toys will be there if you go to a gift shop. All those toys, okay, right, which are made with white material, so they are all made of plaster of Paris. Okay, for decoration purpose, for surfaces smooth. See, if you touch the surface of idols, it will be smooth. So you can use POP to smooth the surface also. Next, so these are the some of the uses of plaster of Paris. So with this, your chapter 3 has completed. Tomorrow I'll start a new lesson. I request all the students to visit the YouTube channel and watch, right? Thank you all. See you tomorrow in the morning.